Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. This episode here, this is the first episode in what is going to be quite a rapid series of videos with regards to a 7¼ inch Romulus. I'm just going to stick up in the corner of the screen here the rescue part of the video. So I went to Brighouse last Sunday and recovered the locomotive from the engine shed there. The guys at Brighouse were kind of running out of space a little bit, so they were trying to tidy up the affairs of certain engines. Now this engine, the owner sadly passed away about 8 years ago. It's been lying dormant in the sheds for about 6 years since failing a hydraulic boiler test. The story behind it really is very vague to me at the moment. I will probably learn a little bit more about it in due course. But yeah, I had to get it from Brighouse, so I popped in and borrowed the van on my day off and went up on Sunday in the hope that I could get some assistance in loading the engine. And thank you very much, David, for helping me out. Now, we had to move 2 engines out of the way, plus their riding trucks, to pull the engine out of the shed. But thankfully at Brighouse, they've got plenty of track so you can roll it round and up to a hydraulic loading ramp. Loaded it into the back of the van and whisked it back off to the workshop. So as I said, the engine has been sat for approximately 6 years since failing its last boiler test, so I already knew that little bit of the story. So I'd given a rough estimate to the current owner, the daughter I believe of said member who sadly passed away. She now lives over on the coast, so she really couldn't be in person and involved other than at the end of the phone. So I spoke to her back end of last week and negotiated the idea. I rescued the engine back to the workshop, where I'm going to go on and do a full inspection of it, and then have another conversation with Claire and hash out a plan of action with regards to how much we're going to pay for it, and also how I'm going to get the money to her. She's given us a couple of weeks grace because it's just been payday, so we need to just get the funds together to get this engine paid for. Simon's already got the money together, so we're going to get her paid next week. And yeah, this video here, it is the first in a series of us basically getting the engine back to the workshop. We're going to do a Resto-mod on it, so we're going to modify its look quite drastically, just changing the soul of the engine really. So boiler's going to get pulled off and sent away to the boiler chap that we use over near Hull. We're definitely going to go for a full retube anyway, but I will be testing it just to make sure. And then it's a case of a full strip, repaint, reassemble and fix as required, just hopefully making a really lovely looking engine. And this video series is all part of that. I will be doing daily videos on this. I've got 4 days worth of work to catch up on already, and hopefully be back on track for Monday. So I'm putting 2 days worth of work into this one video. But yeah, it should be a good crack. Hopefully not too much work. Enjoy the video. Thank you very much for watching. So it's now Monday and on to the inspection. So here I am opening the smoke box, checking for any signs of damage and debris. This all needs cleaning out. I'm then going to go on to getting the wire brushes out and having a good sweep. I not only brush all the tubes out, all bar the superheater tube down the middle, because you can't really get to it because of the blaster pipe, and also wire brush the inside of the firebox, getting us back to nice clean metal so we can be doing all our checks. So it's time for plate thickness testing. So we use an ultrasonic tester and check in multiple locations around the inside of the firebox to see how thick the plates are. Now, having done Romuluses before, the firebox wrapper generally starts off at 1/4 inch, so this has suffered a loss of around about 30 thou of its thickness, and in certain locations it's a little bit thicker. The front tube plate, that is generally made out of 1/2 inch plate, and on inspection of this, it has suffered nowhere really. Maybe a couple of thou, but not a lot. The next step is to fill the boiler full of water and get a hydraulic pressure pump and pump it up. Now Dave is pumping like mad and not getting anywhere, and that is down to the big leak that we are just about to uncover. A working pressure of 100 psi, we should be able to get something in using that pump, but unfortunately it's pouring out of this tube as fast as Dave can pump. You can see the big tube in the middle there, that is for the superheater, which it is currently not got one, so that will be a modification we make to this. But the water's absolutely pouring out of that tube. It's no matter how much Dave pumps, he cannot gain any pressure on the gauge on the pump. So the plan is, upon disassembly, this boiler will be sent away for a retube. We knew that coming into the project that it had failed for a tube leak. I've not seen one quite as bad as that. I even get the bore scope out and shove that down the tube in the offending tube to see if I can have a closer look. It's only quite a small tube, and the bore scope it fills most of that, so I try my best to try and get an image of what I'm looking at, and all you can see is the river bubbling up through the hole in the tube and out into the smoke box. Sorry, not smoke box, firebox. Yeah, so really can't pump it up, so it's off to the boiler man to replace the tubes for us. I've asked him to save the tubes so we can have a look at them. Looking around the rest of the engine now, one thing I noticed at the front right hand tyre, it had got some chunks missing out the flange. Hopefully there's enough meat left on the wheels themselves to reprofile them. Going to do all four at the same time, that way I'm not going to change the running height on one corner. The rods, every bearing really has got a fair amount of slop in it. Forwards and backwards wiggle is the one I'm really concerned about. Side to side you do get a little bit of end float on bearings, but there is a little bit too much. The die block here, it's very wonky. Most of that is caused by the loose pivot on the bottom end of the reverser lever. You can see just about it wiggle like mad. That will be getting addressed also. The lubricator, it's quite a flimsy design of the linkage there, so that will get relocated and a little bit more sturdy. Another major piece of damage here is the front buffer plate. It's been bent in. That's 1/4 inch plate. It takes a lot to bend that, and it also takes a lot to straighten it as well, as I found out. Quite a lot of hammer blows and even a use of a 12-ton press to straighten it out. The other rods, they're equally tired, so yeah, they just need a good rebush and just tighten everything up really. This joint here is where the valve spindle comes out. It's not really secure enough. Pipework looks in okay condition. Okay, and that's the end of the episode. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel if you've not already done so. Also, if you hit that notification bell, YouTube will let you know when the next video comes out, which in this case it will be a daily episode until this engine is finished. Tomorrow's episode will be the disassembly. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.